Hello everyone. So the newest update for Sonic Frontiers just dropped last night. It's actually the third and final update the game is ever getting. I played through most of this update, and I have to say, they went above and beyond. So a lot of a lot of the flaws that people had with the game were changed. And a part of the reason is the director of the game, Kishimoto. He actually listened to a lot of the Sonic fans on Twitter. A lot of the Sonic fans on Twitter would write out to him of like how to improve the game, and he actually listened. So a lot of the um a lot of the feedback people were giving, Sonic team actually listens, which I think is really cool. So let's get into what actually has changed. So the entire final what's the Aranos Island, the which is basically the fifth and final island in Sonic Frontiers. They they actually changed the entire island. I'm not even kidding. The entire last island, they redid, and they also redid the final boss. So in the original game, the final island was okay, but people thought it was kind of boring. It was kind of it wasn't anything special. It was just kind of alright. And then the final boss was really disappointing. Like Sonic Frontiers has some of the best boss fights in the entire series. So when the final boss wasn't that great, it was kind of like a disappointing ending. So with this update, they they made the new final boss is awesome. They gave Supersonic a new super form. I think he's called like he's not Hypersonic. He's called like Cybersonic or something. But it's an actual boss fight now, and it's pretty challenging. So this entire update is actually pretty challenging. Uh, they People say it's the Dark Souls of Sonic. No, this is not an update for babies. This is some of the hardest stuff that's ever been in any Sonic game, and I'm completely serious. I've played almost every Sonic game ever, and some of the stuff in this update is it's up there with some of the it's really high up there on the challenge scale. So also, everything in this update is free, and I'm gonna tell you how to access it. Basically, if you already played the game, just go load your save file, go to Aranos Island, and you'll see a portal. Basically, just click on the portal, and it'll take you to the new island, and that's pretty much how you get there. Alright, and also keep in mind, this is a free update. All of the content in this update is completely free. You don't have to pay a penny. If you own the game, just go download the update, and then there you go. So one of the biggest additions is multiple playable characters. So in in this new update, you can play as Amy Rose, Knuckles the Echidna, and Tails the Fox. So if you're a big Sonic fan and you've been playing these games for a while, you'll know these characters have not been playable since like Sonic 06. Like, I mean, maybe some spin-offs, like maybe like maybe on like Sonic Boom on the Wii U, you can play as these characters. Like, and like for a main line for like a big main Sonic game, you have not been able to play as any of these characters for at least 15 years. So it's actually pretty crazy. So the characters are in their I guess they're called the ghost forms. They're in their ghost forms because or cyber forms because in the story they're still kind of stuck. They're the characters are stuck in cyberspace, so you'll kind of see them as ghosts the whole time, which some people don't like. Some people don't like that they look like ghosts. But for me, I once you start playing it, you don't really notice it. You kind of I don't know, after a few minutes, after a minute or two, you kind of forget that they look like ghosts. Honestly, um, and they're not just these characters. They're not just like skins of Sonic. They all have brand new ability. They all play completely different, and they also all have skill branches or skill trees. So Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, you can they start off kind of bare bones, but you can upgrade. You can upgrade all their abilities. So with Amy, Amy can Amy has like a triple jump, and she can hover using tarot cards. So these tarot cards are actually a reference to Sonic CD. If you ever read the instruction book of Sonic CD, it basically says that Amy just likes tarot cards. I'm not sure why she likes tarot cards. I guess she's just into them. But yeah, you can use tarot cards to hover, or also as a weapon. And Amy like plays great. Like this is the best playing Amy Rose in any Sonic game. She's fast. Um, you can still parry. You have a spin dash. You can also I'll show it later, but you can also like boost using tarot cards, and it looks really cool. Let me show you. But anyways, yes, Amy Rose is awesome. She's honestly much better. She's probably the best character in this whole update. Like that's how good Amy is. She also can homing attack just like Sonic. Um, sh- she's pretty great. So it's kind of funny because like compare her to like Sonic 06 and Sonic 06. She was in Sonic 06. Amy was a terrible character. She was okay in Heroes. In Adventure, she was alright, but this is the best playing Amy Rose in any song. Like this is by far the best Amy Rose has ever felt. Like if you just look at the gameplay, she's fast, she's fluid, and that tarot card you can actually go like a really far distance with it. It's almost like a glide, kind of like a propeller glide. You can go really far and really fast using Amy, and it's pretty awesome. She could, as you guys know, she has a hammer. She doesn't really have a hammer swing anymore, but if you parry, you can parry attacks using the hammer. So she still kind of has a hammer, but overall, Amy is definitely, in my opinion, Amy is probably the best character in this update, and she's awesome for sure. Alright, so the second character I want to talk about is Knuckles. So yes, they added Knuckles. You can finally play as Knuckles in a 3D Sonic game since Sonic 06. So if you guys remember Sonic Adventure 2, in those games, he pretty much was just like a treasure hunter. You would go around looking for gems. In Sonic Frontiers, there's no treasure hunting. It's pretty much just straight up platforming. You can climb up these red walls. So unlike in Sonic Adventure where you can kind of climb any wall, you can only climb these red ones. which might sound which I which might sound kind of lame, but I kind of understand because if you can climb anything, I feel like it would cause too many technical problems. Like it would be too broken. I think that like Knuckles they had to have some restrictions. which is why you can only climb certain walls. And he has similar attacks to Adventure in 06. He has like a ground pound kind of thing where he like dives towards the ground. He has he can punch, obviously. He has like an uppercut. He fights similar to Sonic Adventure 2. He also has a full skill tree where you can learn new moves. He can spin dash. He can spin dash as well, and he also has a homing attack just like Sonic. A lot of people actually have a problem with Knuckles. His glide is really, really stiff. And what I mean by that is when you're gliding, it's kind of hard to turn. So in let's say Sonic Adventure, let's say like in Sonic Adventure or Sonic Adventure 2, like when you turn the stick, Knuckles will just like instantly move to the other direction. But in this game, it's kind of when you're flying straight, you can't really turn that easily. It's almost like driving a car. Like if you're driving a car and you want to turn around, you kind of have to you have to actually turn like you have to turn around. You can't just like press the back button and just fly back. So yeah, a lot of people actually don't like Knuckles. Um, I I kind of agreed that Knuckles could be better. He doesn't control as good as Sonic Adventure, but I do think that it's at least a step in the right direction. And if they just improve his gliding controls, even just a little bit, I think people would be really really happy with Knuckles. But I had a lot of fun with Knuckles. I think Knuckles is. I've had a lot of fun with Knuckles. He's definitely. I mean, it's not saying much, but it's. I mean, if you guys remember Knuckles in Sonic 06, in Sonic 06, that game was so glitchy you couldn't even jump off of the walls. So it's definitely better than that. It's a lot better than Sonic 06, but I don't know if it's quite up to Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. But it's still great. Knuckles has a lot of good abilities too. He also has an unlockable ability that actually lets you glide. That lets you glide without losing altitude. So you can pretty much fly across like the whole like map if you really want to. Like he's kind of broken. There's also this weird glitch where if you do an uppercut and then parry and then uppercut and then parry, Knuckles can like infinitely like you can jump like infinitely. Like like Knuckles will keep going higher and higher in the air if you uppercut parry, uppercut parry, uppercut parry, you'll literally just keep going higher higher in the air forever. So yeah, Knuckles actually has like a he has like a really glitchy ability that lets him go up forever, which I think is kind of funny. I actually didn't know about that until I saw someone online say that, and I think that's kind of funny. I wonder if they'll ever patch that, but I don't know. I think they'll probably just leave it. But I don't know. Overall, I like Knuckles. Um, I'm surprised there's no treasure hunting. I thought maybe they would have like some treasure hunting missions, but I mean, as far as I'm aware, I haven't seen any. I don't think I completed every single little mission yet, but I don't think there's any treasure hunting missions. But that would be cool if there was. Um, yeah, Knuckles. Knuckles is good. I like Knuckles. So yeah, that's my stance on Knuckles. I like him. Okay, so last but not least, you can play as Tails. Um, Tails is Tails is probably my second favorite playable character out of the new ones. I like him more than Knuckles, but I don't know if I like him about as much as Amy, but I don't know if I like Amy or Tails better, but Tails is actually awesome. He's pretty much back to his Sonic Adventure 1 days, where you can just fly around. He controls really good in the air. He has a spin dash. He doesn't have a tail whip anymore, and now he can kind of throw. He can like throw like wrenches. I don't know why he throws wrenches, honestly, but I guess it makes more sense than like those dummy rings from Sonic 06. But Tails, yeah, his flight is good. He doesn't go up that high, but you can kind of fly. He flies around for a while before he gets tired. Like it's not like you fly for 5 seconds and then you just fall. Like he like Tails can actually fly around for quite a while before he gets tired. So you can jump on enemies. Tails can spin dash. So actually, all of these characters can spin dash, which is really cool. If you guys remember, in Sonic Adventure, Tails could roll into a ball. Like he could roll on the ball, but he couldn't like spin dash. He can just roll kind of normally. So it's cool that all these characters can spin dash. I really like that. Um, what else can Tails do? Yeah, Tails. Oh yeah. So some people don't like that Tails can't homing attack. Um, Personally, I I don't really see the need for him to homing attack. He fights by throwing. He throws wrenches now, so that's his main method of attack. So if you can already throw wrenches, why do you need the homing attack? I don't know. I mean they could have gave Tails the homing attack, but I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think it's fine to not give him the homing attack. Um, to be honest though, I don't know why he doesn't have it. Why does Knuckles get the homing attack? Like Knuckles like why does Knuckles deserve it? Knuckles can already punch. Like Knuckles has a lot of combat moves and even he can homing attack. So I don't know. I maybe they forgot, but yeah, Tails can't homing attack, but in my opinion, it doesn't really matter that much. But there's something really really cool though that Tails can do. So after you unlock the ability, Tails can actually fly in his little mech from Sonic Adventure 2. Like that's literally awesome. Like remember how in Sonic Adventure 2 Tails was in a mech the whole time? And people used to hate that. People were like, why is Tails in a mech? Like I want to fly around. But in Sonic Frontiers, you can actually you can go you can go in the mech whenever you want. Basically, you have to have maximum rings and then just hold down the boost button, and you can seriously fly. It's like you can literally fly across the whole map. You can go like ridiculously high, ridiculously far. It's pretty crazy that I was surprised that this is even in the game. It makes Tails' section so easy because he can literally just fly anywhere. And there's also like the blaster cannon from Sonic Adventure 2. You can't use it while you're flying, but if you're on the ground and you're on the ground and you have the if you're on the ground in the mech, you can actually use the blaster cannon, similar to Sonic Adventure 2, and it's a really powerful attack. So I think it's Tails. It's kind of the best of both worlds. It's kind of like you can fly around like Sonic Adventure 1, and then you even have that mech from Sonic Adventure 2. So, I mean, what more could you really want from Tails? Alright, so don't worry, they didn't forget about Sonic. For Sonic, Sonic has a lot of new stuff to do as well. So they added new towers for Sonic to climb, and these are actually pretty controversial. Some of these towers I'm not gonna say they're impossible, but they're pretty challenging to climb. You have to climb all the way to the top of these gigantic towers, and if you fall off, you pretty much have to climb all the way back up from the beginning, unless you accidentally like land on one of the platforms or whatever. Like these are really fun. Like honestly, it's awesome that they're making challenging Sonic levels instead of just like stuff for babies. This is not for this DLC is not for children. I could not imagine a child actually finishing like this. Like some of these platforming sections are actually really difficult. Like I would consider myself a veteran Sonic player. Like I've played literally almost every Sonic game, and even these parts gave me some trouble. So I mean, I gotta give them credit. Like these platforming parts are awesome. There's also these new combat challenges that Sonic has to do, and these combat challenges are very hard. You have to pretty much the enemies are extremely aggressive, and you're under a very strict time limit. I honestly had to look up a walkthrough just to see how to get past these parts. Like, it's not like it's this is not like a kid game where you just press a few buttons. Like this is really hard combat. You have to dodge. You have the homing attack. You have to do the side loop. You have to do all these things just at the right time, and it's pretty crazy. There's also one other challenge that I wanted to talk about. It's basically the last tower challenge. So you have to fight all four or all three or whatever. All three of you have to fight all of the supersonic boss fights with only 400 rings the entire time, which are constantly depleting. And they have a new feature called the perfect parry. And basically what that means is to attack with the parry, you pretty much have to parry at the exact split second that the bosses are fighting you. Because in the regular game, you pretty much just hold down the button to parry, and it doesn't matter how precise you are. But trust me, the new challenge with the supersonic fights, they're almost like near impossible. I actually had to switch the game to easy mode to even beat it, and because if you switch the game to easy, basically the parry you have like 2 seconds to parry instead of like a split second, and yeah, it made it a lot simpler. But I'm just warning you, this game could get really hard, and I'm showing you more examples of these towers that people have trouble with. Yeah, you can see for yourself. These towers are pretty difficult. Um, so I'm not gonna talk about the story too much. Uh, basically, basically, they kind of rewrote the story a bit. So at the end of the game, basically Sonic he's like cyber corrupted. So Tails, Knuckles, and Amy they basically have to go out of their way to find the Chaos Emeralds so they can give the emeralds to Sonic. They yeah, it's kind of like the last story of Sonic Adventure 2, where all the characters come together to help Sonic, or the end of the world from Sonic 06. It's kind of similar to that. Like all the characters are just trying to find the Chaos Emeralds for Sonic, and I mean, there's more new things to the story. Um, but yeah, I say just play it for yourself. But I mean, trust me, they went above and beyond for this DLC. Um, I I have a few gripes about it. So first off, um, well, really quick, I also wanted to mention that there's brand new cyberspace levels. So if you like those cyberspace levels, they actually added more of them. And they don't appear to be rehashed. I think they're actually brand new level designs. So that's really cool. But anyways, there's a few things I don't like about the DLC. So, first of all, when you beat the game, when you beat the DLC, I don't think you actually unlock anything else, as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong because I haven't done every single thing, but I don't think there's any like further unlockables. So that kind of sucks. And after you beat the final boss, you can't actually beat Tails. So you can only beat Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, and in the last islands, Arono's islands. So you actually can't play as them in any island you want, which kind of sucks. So it's not like you can go to any islands and be any character. You can only play as those characters on that one island. So that's kind of disappointing. Because yeah, it's not like you can play the whole game as them. It's just kind of that final island. But it's still a big island, and there's still a lot to do. So it's not like a huge deal. There's still a lot that you can do with those characters. So yeah, and what else is there? Yeah, also the ghost forms never go away. So Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, they'll pretty much look even after you beat the game, they'll still look like a ghost. A lot of, I kind of wish you can make them look normal, but maybe they'll have another update that lets you do that. It's not that big of a deal, but it's still kind of annoying. And if I had one request, I want to be able to go supersonic during the regular game and not just the boss fights. Because if you can fly around as Tails in his mech, why can't you fly? Why can't you fly around as supersonic? I mean, it would be awesome. Like, let us be supersonic. Like, I want to fly around all these islands as supersonic and just like freely do whatever I want. That would be awesome, but this apparently is the last update, so I don't think any of these things are ever happening. I mean, hopefully they do update the game again, but I don't really think they are. But I think the next thing coming is maybe potentially a Sonic Adventure 3. I don't know what I don't know what they're doing after Sonic Frontiers, but I hope they make something similar to this. I would love if they did like a Sonic Adventure 3, but if they just take Sonic Frontiers and just go from there, I think they're definitely onto something. And honestly, I'm really impressed by this whole game. I'm impressed by Kishimoto listening to the fans because that's not something Sega does. There's been a lot of crappy Sonic games that they would just throw under the rug, and they're just like, oh, okay, forget that game. Here, let's just make another game. No, they took a year updating this game over and over to make it better for the fans, and to me that's amazing. They added like momentum, then they added the spin dash, and now they fixed like the whole ending of the game. Like to me that's crazy. So I highly recommend downloading this update. It's a free update. If you have the game on any console or on PC, just download it and it's definitely worth playing. So go give it a shot.